and what is sample. And within that sampling techniques are nothing but one is random sampling, one is non-random sampling. Non-random means bias. Bias means as per your choice, as per your convenience, you are going to select the sample, which is not having any kind of randomness. For example, in this class, I want to select the student. Which student I'm going to select means my choice. Then it is called as bias sampling. If I give with respect to all your names and to the Python, and if I ask in the Python a random dot choice is the function is available, right? Choice means it is going to select one from the given data. So if I give all the students' names and if I ask random dot choice, now it is going to give with respect to each and any name it can give. Randomly it is going to select. Which name it is going to select, I also don't know, you also don't know, right? Here it is completely of random choice, randomly selected the data. So if you are having the random data, then it is called as random sampling. If you are selecting the data, for example, in this class, I have to select 2 students. That 2 students, I am only selecting my choice. Then it is called as bias sampling. Bias means you are one-sided or you are choosing of your own. And within that, we have discussed the first business moment, that is mean, median, and mode. These are the 3 things that these 3 of them are called as measures of central tendency or with respect to first business moment, right? Similarly, we have discussed about the minimum value, maximum value, range value, and deviation, mean absolute deviation, mean square deviation, which is also called as variance, and standard deviation, which is called as square root of variance, right? We have discussed mean, minimum value, maximum value, range value. What is deviation? Deviation is nothing but from the mean, how much the data was deviated. And we have discussed mean absolute deviation. Absolute deviation means first you have to do the absolute values. After that, you have to calculate the mean. Square deviations means first you have to do the square. After that, you have to calculate the mean. And standard deviation. These are the things which we have discussed in the last class. And within the mean absolute deviation, we have discussed the mean absolute deviation for the population and for the sample. That is population variance and sample variance. At the same time, standard deviation also same. Population standard deviation and sample standard deviation. Right? Sample standard deviation. So these are the things which we have covered in the last class, right? Apart from this, we have discussed in the sample, whenever we are having the sample, we have to go with the n-1. What is n-1? Means degrees of freedom, or where we are having with respect to the every time one will left out with no option, that we have to consider mandatory. Or in other ways, we can say if one is left out also, it is called as sample. If everything is available, then only it is called as population. At least one is not there only, it is called as sample. Everything is available means it is called as population. Minimum one should not be there. Then only it is considered as sample. So you can take n-1 as per your different choice. One people will say that degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom means choice to select. How many options we are having the choice to select. For example, x plus y plus z. Within this, how many variables you are having to choose? As many as you want. 2 variables you are having as per your choice. 1 variable is compulsory. Once you fix the 2 variables, the third one is compulsory. Out of 7 shirts, 6 shirts are having the choice to select. 1 shirt is mandatory that you have to wear, right? So whatever the example I have discussed in the last class, out of 3 of them, 2 of them are having the choice to select anything of your choice. But once you have selected these 2, the third one is fixed. That is not having any choice. Out of 7 shirts, 6 shirts are fixed. 1 is having with respect to, 6 are having the choice. You can select as per your choice. 1 is not having any choice, right? So every time one will be left out with no choice, that is considered as your n minus 1. Why we consider n minus 1 means we can say as a degree of freedom. N minus 1 is called as degree of freedom. Where 1 is the degree of freedom. 1 will be having no degree of freedom. Every time 1 will have no degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is free to choose. 1 will be left out every time. You can't choose that one. Okay, 1 you can't choose every time. 1 is fixed every time, right? Now, these are the things which we have discussed in the last class about the mean, median, mode is the first business moment, and this comes under second business moment, where mean, median, mode are considered as measures of central tendency, minimum, maximum range, deviation, absolute deviation, and standard deviation and variance. All this comes under measures of dispersion. These all of them comes under measures of dispersion. So in the NASCOM, one of the question, okay, which parameter is considered as the distribution of the data, out of which A they have given with respect to mean, 2 median, mode, and D as the deviation. Which one? Which is used for measuring the distribution of the data? Distribution of the data means how your data has spread. Distribution, what is meant by distribution of the data means entire data, how it is distributed. This comes under measures of distribution. This all comes under measures of distribution. How your data has been distributed means from starting to ending, how your data was distributed. Now, here there is an important interview question. What is that important interview question, miss? Interview question is, what standard deviation tells us? What does standard deviation tells us? Tells about. What standard deviation tells about? Means if the standard deviation is low, means what it is going to tell. If the standard deviation is high, means what it is going to tell. If the standard deviation is low, if your standard deviation is low, if standard deviation is low, then what is the meaning of that? All data points are close to the mean. They are close to the mean. When they are close to the mean only, the deviation will be low. When they are far away from the mean, the deviation will be high. Simple, right? Standard deviation formula is x minus x bar. X bar is nothing but from the mean. When this is low, automatically this value should be low only, right? Whether it is a square of that or whether it is whatever it is, this value is low means everything should be low only. If this value is high means automatically numerator is high. Denominator is every time fixed value only. Okay, for example, let me take like this. Okay, 10, 45, 90, 400, 600. In this case, what happens? The minimum value to the maximum value. If you take the average value of this one, from the average value, the deviations from each record will be very high. Anyways, we are not going to do the mean deviation. Mean deviation is going to be the 0 because some of the deviations is 0. So that is everyone knows. So we are not going to consider the direct deviations. Either we have to go with the absolute or square. Absolute also is having the problem. So blindly square only. So whatever the deviations we are having, for every deviation, first we are going to calculate the square. After calculating the square, we are going to calculate the mean of the deviations, whatever the mean we are having, and for that we are going to apply the square root. Now this value is fixed, 5. Whether here it is 500 also 5 only, whether it is 400 also 5 only, whether it is 100 also 5 only. But numerator will change according to that. Denominator will be always fixed. Numerator will change as per the data. Now, as per the data, now if you are having all the data points, for example, let me take one more example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in this case, what happens? Mean value is 3 and all the data points here, the absolute deviation is -2, -1, +0, +1 and +2. Square of that is 0, 1, 0, 1, 4, right? And if you do the standard deviation, you will get very low value. In this case, you will get a very huge value, big value, because that here first you have to calculate. First you have to calculate what is the mean value. From the mean value, automatically the values will be huge deviation will be there. Whenever there is a standard deviation is large, automatically the data points are very far away from the mean. For this, calculate the mean value. What is the mean value? 900, 990, 990 plus 10, 1000, 1045. 1045 divided by 5. What is the value? 209. So it is 209. Now, if you calculate the deviation, it is almost minus 199. If you calculate the deviation for this, it is almost 154, minus 154. If you calculate the deviation, it is almost close to 109. 109? Not 119. It is almost 119. And here you are having with respect to plus 191. And this one is plus 291. So you are having with respect to very large amount of deviations. Now, if you do the square, automatically this value will be very high, right? What is the difference between this data and what is the difference between this data? Miss, this data, all the data points, whatever 1, 2, 4, and 5, all the points are very close to the mean value, center value. In this case, they are very high. So standard deviation tells us if the standard deviation is low, means all the data points are very close to each other. If the standard deviation is high, means all the data points are far away from the mean, because deviation is from the mean you are calculating. If the standard deviation is high, all data points are far away to mean. The distance from the mean is high. Far away from the mean means the distance from the data points towards the mean is very high. This the standard deviation tells. For example, let us take two batsmen, batsman 1 and batsman 2. First batsman 38, 40, 41, 42, 37. Second batsman 60, 0, 20, 30, and 5. You are having like this. This is batsman 1 and this is batsman 2. Now in this batsman, which batsman we are going to select means which batsman is having the consistency. What is meant by consistency? What is the word of the meaning of consistency? Consistency means consistently he is playing the cricket match with the same score. Same score means which is having the average score. Whatever his average is there, his all the data points are close to the mean. Consistency means nothing but standard deviation is low. The meaning of consistency means standard deviation is low. Whenever there is the cricketer is having the standard deviation as low, he is a consistent player. Consistently, he will play towards the mean. Means whatever the average is there, he will play to the batting average score. That is the minimum guarantee. Right? So they are called as consistent players. Okay, for example, one particular player is there. He will play every time 30 to 40 runs in between. Every time. Once he enter into the ground, means he will play minimum 30 to 40 runs. We are having the trust on him that this particular batsman will play minimum 30 to 40. Why we are having the trust on him like that? Because every time he is playing the same. Every time he is playing the same means every time his score is close to the average value. His average value. Right? So consistency meaning is standard deviation is low, where in the IPL auction, this is one of the most important parameter. They'll check the standard deviation value. If the standard deviation of the value is very low only, they used to assume that this player is a consistent player. Consistently, he will play this many matches. Consistently, he will play minimum these many sixes or this many fours or something, whatever is there. Consistency word comes with respect to standard deviation. For example, in my class, I have kept a test. If all the students are very close to the average value, means how many students, my average score is in the class, average score is 70. All the students are lying between 60 to 80 only, in between only. The range is very low. Okay, all the students are lying between 60 to 80 only. Now, this is a good batch. If one student is 0 marks, one student is 100 marks means, in that batch, what happens? Some students are focusing and some students are practicing and some students are not doing anything. What happens? Now, in that case, what happens? Whoever the students are not practicing, the others will get influenced by these people, right? Getting influenced by the bad things is very easy, right? Influencing by good things is difficult, but influencing by bad things will be very easy, right? Everyone will get influenced by using the bad things. Now, here in this case, all these examples are related to standard deviation. So if the standard deviation is low, means all the data points are close to the mean. Simple. Is that clear, guys? So this is one of the interview question. Now, coming to the next point, the most important point. Okay. Now, I want my students to have a good standard deviation. I mean, low standard deviation, and they have to perform in their interviews very well. That is my requirement. Now, for that, what are the options we are having? So in terms of, we are going to give the assignments, we are going to share the data sets, and we'll ask something to do, everything. Now, apart from that, now from this weekend onwards, we are going to keep a test. Every Saturday, you'll have the test, right? Now, whoever the people are free, only those students attend. You are already engaged on the Saturdays and Sundays to other work, means it is not compulsory. Okay. This rule is not from the starting, right? So I have created the rule in between only. It is not compulsory for you, as per your choice. Okay. Not mandatory. But if you attend 100%, I can say you'll feel your real-time interview will be easy. That is for sure. Now, what will be in this test? And every Saturday, fix. Every Saturday, automatically it is fixed. This Saturday is there or not there? Don't ask that question. Every Saturday it will be there. Every Saturday it will be there. Okay. And syllabus will be till that Friday. Whatever the syllabus we have covered before, one day before, that is the syllabus. Okay. We are not going to change the syllabus, nothing. Before one day to that exam, whatever the syllabus was completed, it will be included. Okay. Till Friday, whatever is there. Means from in this Saturday, whatever the exam I'm going to conduct, till this Friday, whatever the topics we are going to conduct, that will be there. Right? Every Saturday, I'm going to conduct the test. And this test will be only offline. This test will be offline. Whoever the students of offline students, you can attend. Whoever are in Hyderabad and attending online classes, if you want, you can come and you can attend. Now coming to the online students and who are out of Hyderabad. For those people, once the test is completed, I'm going to share you the question paper and you can write on your own. Right? Now, here, let us understand what is this test. First, let me explain the test so that one by one will come. Now, test, whatever the test I'm going to keep is, the test will include the interview questions. The test will include exactly the interview questions. In the interview, whatever the orally they are going to ask, the questions it will be there. Actually, I have to ask orally and you have to answer orally. This both has to be done normally. But we can't take the mock interviews for every student. Every weekend, it is not possible. Practically, it is not possible. To one student or two students only, it is possible. But that one student or two students, they'll have with respect to some kind of fear on day one. And later they'll go with respect to the fear will be lost and they want to take the second time mock interview. But we can't get here. Total 100 students are there. So for 100 students, I can't take the mock interview for multiple times. It is not practically possible. So what I'm going to do, every student has to involve in this mock interview. So what is the other alternate I have taught? And from that, I have got a solution that interview questions. I got an idea that interview questions, why I can't keep these interview questions directly as a question paper. So I'm going to give these interview questions and you are going to write these answers. Every question you are going to write the answer. Okay. As it is in the companies, in real-time company, in the mock, in the interview, whatever the questions they are going to ask, the same questions will be there as it is. Right? This is the first one. Second one, whoever the students has successfully written the exam and very good marks, for those people, I'm going to conduct the mock interview on Monday. On Monday, for those students, I will conduct the mock interview. Okay, directly in front of me, I will conduct. Okay, in front of others. Others also will be there. Sir, others, my communications will be very low. Sir, I can't take like that. Don't say like that, because In real life, we have to face the situation. So you have to lose that fear, miss. You have to take the mock interview, right? So whoever the students has cleared these interview questions with a top scorer, that particular person, I'm going to do the mock interview. Okay. Now, whoever the person have done the mock interview for multiple times, 100% blindly he will get the 6 lakhs package, right? This one in the notes. 100% he will get the job with 6 lakhs package minimum, guarantee. Okay, guarantee. Literally, it is guarantee only, right? So, because these are the interview questions directly which were asked in the companies only, and I'm going to conduct the mock interviews for the multiple times for the same student. For example, one student is there, he is the topper. First time, second time, third time. Every time he is only topper and he is attending this mock interview for in front of me. Automatically, he will get the job with minimum guarantee of 6 lakhs in MNC only. He will get in MNC only, not in even startup also. Right? 100%. 100% guarantee. No assistance also, guarantee only. Directly, I'm saying the word guarantee. Right? Now, the students who has attended this taken the test of interview questions and mock interviews. So now what happens means all the students are going to start practicing. Now seriousness will be there comparatively. Comparatively earlier, now seriousness somewhat increase. And they will sincerely try to prepare. And every Saturday, they will take the test. And so, and now one student is performing very well, miss, automatically other students also will get that interest. Okay, he is performing in front of me. And at least the top 3 persons or 4 persons, they are fighting each other also, it is more than sufficient. Right? They will get a very good packages. Right? So, this is the option. Now, I want to conduct this one in the online. Sir, you can conduct this one online now. Now, how to conduct the online? Can you tell me the suggestions for this? So for online, miss, I have to give the question paper in online. Now what happens? Some of the online students, they'll do that copying. Miss, they'll copy the question into the Google and they'll see the answers and they will write the answers. How I can know that they're not seeing in the Google? Tell me one possibility. It has to be proctored. Proctored means they should be having some kind of web camera and they have to switch on their web camera and we have to see all the students simultaneously, which is not practically possible. One student or 2 students miss, okay. But at a time, we want to manage all the 50 to 60 students miss. It is not practically possible. At the same time, we can't trust the students also. For example, sir, please share us the question paper. We'll not see the Google and we'll write sincerely. They will say like this, but who knows? So none of the exam without proctored, that exam is invalid exam. If it is not proctored means it is an invalid. Though you are a genuine student also, we can't do anything. Okay, we can't do anything. For example, you are very genuine and you want to write the IIT entrance test in your house only. They'll allow. You are very, very, very genuine. I will not even open the book, sir. I will surely will write 100% on my own only. Will they allow? No. If you say also, they'll not allow. That is not possible in the outside world. Means how it is possible with me then? Which is practically possible in the outside world, that will do in the class. So my trainer has done in that way. So you have also have to do in this way. Don't say like this, right? So now here I'm going to conduct the test every weekend and please take these questions. And for online students, after the exam, I'm going to upload the same question paper in the Google Drive. Now, sincerely, you want to prepare, miss, you want to write some exam, miss, you write that exam. And anyways, you know the answers, right? You can correct yourself and check yourself how much marks you have got. Right? That is the only thing we can do with the online students. For offline students, this possibility is there. That too, I'm having a lab. In that lab, mentors are available. So this exam will be conducted by the mentors. I'm not going to conduct. I will share only the question paper and mentors are going to invigilate and mentors are going to correct the question answer sheet. And they are going to give me the result. And whoever has done good, I'm going to conduct the mock interview for them. Right? Is that clear, guys? From this weekend onwards. At the same time, I'm saying this is not mandatory also, right? Don't say, sir, this Saturday I'm having work. Next Saturday I'm having work. If you're interested, attend. 100% I can say that if you attend, miss, it is going to be a huge advantage for you. If you want, you utilize. Don't want, miss, don't utilize. As per your choice. After the exam, surely I'm going to upload that question paper in the drive. Every weekend, once the class was completed, that question paper will be uploaded. Okay. The questions, how many questions will be there? How many marks? And what would be the exam pattern? Whatever the type of exam, it is in the syllabus only. It might be multiple choice. It might be filling the blanks. It might be theoretical questions. It might be anything. What I'm going to do, what I'm going to give, I also don't know. On Friday night, whatever the mood I get, based on that, I'll write the questions according to that. I only don't know. Okay. Don't ask the pattern. Our aim is whatever, for example, the exam is for 20 marks only. 20 out of 20 you have to get. Exam is for 100 marks. 100 out of 100. Our target is this one only. Whatever the marks, total marks, we have to get the maximum. Right? And that too within the syllabus. Whatever the within the syllabus, whatever we are discussing in the class, within that only it will be there. Clear, guys? And if you want the sample questions, I'll give you the sample questions also. Sample questions are very simple. Just in the Google, type the interview questions on statistics for data scientist. What are the questions you get? That are the questions. If you type also, I will also type the same thing only. I will also copy from there only. The only difference between you and me is you will open the first website. I will open in the third page or fourth page somewhere. I will type in the Google. After typing interview questions on statistics for data scientist, first website you will open. Generally, students will open the first website or second website. I will open the 10th one because you will not open 10th one now. I will open. That's it. Now, okay, sir, 10th one you told now. I will also open up to 10 websites. Open. Enjoy. Who told not to open? You also open and you also learn. Is that clear? And whatever the mock interviews will be conducted, everything will be recorded in the class. In front of you only I'm going to do. Clear, guys? Is the clear about the examination? Now, let's get into this next one. That we'll see on Friday. I will tell you on the Friday. Okay, not yet decided. Exam was decided, but timings, because other batches also there, right? I want to conduct the same thing for every batch. Okay. So for other batches, if they want to give everything on the same slot, means they'll give the fixed slot for every batch student. If they want to change the for different batches, different timings, means they may change the timings. So I will confirm you the timings on this Friday. But exam is fixed. We are going to log the exams. Every weekend, we are having one mock interview and one written test. By end of this batch, at least 10 will be completed, minimum 10 tests and 10 mock interviews will be completed easily. After once you enter into the real-time world, into the real company, by that time, you will feel that this interview is dead easy when compared to a circus or interview. Okay, you will feel in that way. Okay, is that clear? Now, let's get into the topic again back. Now, within the statistics, now next heading is called as variable. Next heading is called as variable. Okay, before writing the variable heading, write the data. Heading is data. So we are having different types of data, out of which first one is called as structured data. Structured data. Structured data means which is having a proper format. Which is having a proper format. In the interview, if they ask you what is meant by structured data. Structured data means a data which has a proper format is called as structured data. A data which has a proper format. You should not say the answer, sir, which is in the tabular column. Tabular data is called as structured data, which is having a proper format. If any data is having a proper format for that, then it is called as structured data. Example is Excel sheet or your tabular data. Because in the tabular data, here the name is there, means inside this names only will be there. Here phone number is there, means inside this only 4 numbers will be there. So this is having a proper format. This entire column will consist of 4 numbers. This entire column will consist of this one. So this is having a proper format for that. Now, second one is unstructured data. unstructured data, where no proper format, where there is no proper format for the data is called as unstructured data. If the data doesn't have any proper format, unstructured. Example, your tweets in the Twitter, what are the tweets you are going to keep? There is no proper format. You can write whatever you want. Anyway, you can start with a hi and you can end with anything, or you no need to write the hi or nothing. You mention the name of the person to whom you are going to tweet. You can mention the name. You no need to mention the name. Anything you can write. There is no proper format for that. Oh, starting you have to use this one only. You have to end in this way only. There is nothing. No rule is applicable. As per your choice. You can keep only the dots also. 10 dots and you can click on the enter. Okay, that is also one of the tweet. Just dots will be there. In that tweet, only dots will be there. That is also one of the tweet. Tweets and YouTube comments, all this. And for example, so simply to say your text data, simply to say text data, whether it is a mails, whether it is YouTube comments, Twitter, reviews, anything you consider, there is no proper format for that. There is no proper format for that. So if there is no proper format for that, then it is called as text data or unstructured data. If there is a proper format, for example, let us take like this. You are going to a bank for deposit the cash. There is an account number. They are going to ask the account number and your denominations, how many 2000 notes and how many 500 notes and how many 200 notes, 100 notes, all these things, denominations will be available and total amount, rupees will be available, account number will be available, name will be available. Now this is a structured data or unstructured data? Structured data, because there is a proper format is available. That is not in the tabular format, right? Is that in the tabular format? No. So here it is a structured data, which is having a proper structure. Means here when the account number, you have to fill the account number only. You can't fill your phone number in that. Account number only you have to fill. If there is a proper format, it comes under structured. If there is no proper format, it comes under unstructured. Simple. Your text data, your images, your videos, audios, all this comes under unstructured. There is no proper format. Anything you can start, anything you can end. Whatever you want, you can do. Images means, for example, if I ask some students, please share your photos. Okay. For keeping in the database, please share your past photos. If I ask, some student is going to send passport size photo. Some student is going to send that back end, one car will be there and he'll take the photo. Right? One student will send in this way. Instead of sending like this, he'll send in this way. Right? So different students are going to send in a different way. One person will send a casual photo. One person will send with having with respect to backend Charminar photo. And some students will send with respect to backend something will be there. So each student is going to send in a different way. There is no proper format for that. If I ask a passport size photo, okay, passport size photo means size is fixed. And if I ask, everyone should have a white color background only, mandatory white color background, and you have to wear only red color t-shirt. It is rule. If I say like this, then automatically it is everything is in a proper format only, right? Every person is having the same thing. Every person having the same red t-shirt, that too plain red t-shirt. Everything should be plain without having anything on that. Plain red t-shirt. It is the rule. And if I ask like this, then it is a structured data, means which is having a proper format. Any data which is having a proper format comes under structured. No proper format means it comes under unstructured data. To store the structured data, we are having the structured databases. Database means where the data is stored. Structured databases. For storing unstructured data, we are having unstructured databases. These are different. These are different. This database was created to store the unstructured data. This database was created to store the structured data. Right? So for storing the structured data, we are having structured database. For storing unstructured data, we are having unstructured database. Example of structured database is MySQL is the database name. SQL Server is the database name. Server means don't think that it is a server and connections, nothing like that. Name only server. Okay, SQL Server is the database name. Oracle is the database name. These are all the names. In that, data will be there. Structured data will be there. Like here, we are having MongoDB. This is unstructured database. Name, Cassandra. Unstructured database. Example, etc. Like this, how many we are having? Means structured database, almost 80 are there. Unstructured database, 100 plus are there. But in the most of the companies, this is the commonly they are going to use. Okay, 99.99% of the companies will use out of these three for structured database. For unstructured database, they'll use mostly these two. But multiple are there. Right? Is that clear? Now, next, this is comes under structured and unstructured. Now, within the structured database, next heading is structured database. Sorry, not structured database, structured data only. Yes, just structured data. Right? Structured data. Structured data means where we are having the data in a tabular format. Okay. Some data will be, generally the structured data will be in the tabular format. Unless you make the fix. Like earlier I have told you the example like a bank account, whatever the bank challan is there. Or with respect to some other things. There is some fixed one is there only, it is fixed one. Generally, 99.99% of the data, whatever real-time existence, text data is considered under the unstructured, and structured data means tabular data. Most of the data, tabular data is structured data. Now, within this structured data, we are having the tabular data. Now, for every table, we are having the column name. For every table, we'll have the column. Some column name will be there. Okay, column name. For every column, some name will be there. Whether it is a normal name of the student, phone number of the student, email of the student, like this, whatever it is. So we are having generally one name will be there, column name. The column name, whatever the column name is there, the column name is considered. Each column name of structured data, each column name of the structured or tabular data, simply to more precise, tabular data. Column name of the tabular data is called as variable in statistics. Each column name of the tabular data is called as variable in statistics. Right? So earlier we have worked in the pandas, that is liver patient data set. On that, where we are having age column. Okay, age of the person, gender of the person, DB, TB, TP, something. We are having like this column names, different column names are there. Now this column, this is called as, age is called as variable. Age is a variable, gender is a variable, DB is a variable, TB is a variable, TP is a variable. Each of the name is considered as the name. Whatever the name is there, that name is considered as the variable name in the statistics. Now, we are having different types of variables. What are the different types of variables? These variables are in the tabular data only. Okay, we are having different types of variables. What are the different types means? The first one is called as continuous variable. Second one is called as discrete variable. And third one is called as time series variable. Okay, continuous variable, discrete variable, and time series variable. Now, continuous and discrete, these both of them combinedly called as cross-sectional data. This combinedly called as cross-sectional data. And this one individually it is called as time series data. Time series data. Now, What is example for cross-sectional data and time series data? Let us understand what is cross-sectional data and time series data. Cross-sectional data means irrespective of time. If you have collected the data irrespective of time, then it is called as cross-sectional data. For example, liver patient data is there. In that time, date is there. Is that any date is there? On this particular date, it was collected. This date it is collected. And whether the patient, if you want to predict, for example, I want to predict the mileage of a car. Mileage of a car is depending on the date of the car. It is mileage of a car is depending on the date on which it is manufactured, or time it is manufactured, or time when you're testing. Is depending on the time. Is the mileage of the car is depending on the time? No. Is in the real estate, for example, you want to purchase a house. Is the house price is dependent on the time? If you go at 12 o'clock, a different value, at 1 o'clock, a different value. Is that based on the time? No. If it is not depending on the time, then it is called as cross-sectional data. If the data is depending on the time, then it is called as time series data. Example for time series data, traffic at Amirpet. Traffic at Amirpet, 9 o'clock, the traffic is different. 10 o'clock, the traffic is different. Traffic at, if I ask, hey, what would be the traffic at Amirpet, miss? Immediately ask the, at what time? Morning 7 o'clock or early morning 3 o'clock or evening 6 o'clock. Evening 6 o'clock means the traffic will be different. Early morning 3 o'clock means nothing will be there. Even you can go at 100 speed also. If you go at evening 7:30 or 8 o'clock, you can't even go at the 30 speed also in Amirpet. Right? So it depends on the time. So the traffic, you have to predict the traffic at Amirpet means that will be dependent on the time. Whichever the data is getting dependent on time, that data is called as time series data. Right? If the data is depending irrespective of the date or irrespective of the time, if the data is there, then it is called as cross-sectional data. Is that clear? Cross-sectional data. Now, cross-sectional data means no time dependency. Where time series data means there is a time dependency. Now, we have understand what is meant by cross-sectional data. What is meant by cross-sectional data? And what is time series data meaning? We have understand the meaning. Now, within that time series data, we are having time series. What is meant by time series means if you are having any column with time, date, month, year, if these are all things are there, then either month or date or year or something, you are having something related to time means then it is called as time series column. For example, I am having a column like this. In the month of April, these many students has joined in Naresh IT in all the batches. In the month of May, these many students. In the month of June, these many students. Based on this, I want to predict the July. Now here, how many students are going to admit in Naresh IT? How many students are going to enroll the course at Naresh IT in the month of July? I want to predict. Then it is a time series data where I'm going to work on the time series. If you are having in your data set a column called as related to time, and this is having any dependency on the prediction, then this entire data set is called as time series data set. Though the data is available, but it is not having any dependency, just we are going to delete that column. If it is not having any importance, just delete. For example, you have to predict whether the person will have a COVID or not. Yes or no? Okay, this is your project. Okay, whether you have to predict whether the person is having COVID positive or COVID negative. You have to predict. Now for that, on which date he has taken the test, the date is there. And whatever the samples and whatever the things he has given, the values are there, each value. And based on that, you are going to predict whether it is a positive or not. Here, on which date he has taken the test is important for you to predict the COVID positive or negative. These values are important. In the blood, what is the percentage of sodium or potassium or whatever it is related to the test, whatever the test they are going to conduct, whatever the things they are going to collect, that is important. On which date he has taken that one, which time morning he has taken at 9:10 he has taken 9:15 he has taken that is not important. For example, I am having, there is a one person called as SRK. He has taken the test on 1st April 2023 at morning 10. And the answer is COVID negative. Now to predict this COVID negative, if I take at 10 means the answer will be negative. If I take at 10:30 means answer will be positive. No, right? If I take on instead of April 1st, if I take April 2nd, what is there inside my body? That it will be dependent. It is not based on the date or based on the place. It is not depending on the place of the test. Whether I had taken in the Hyderabad or if I take that one in the Visakhapatnam or in the Delhi, it is not matter. What are this one means related to our prediction for our project, whichever the columns are important, that columns I'm considering. Whichever the columns are not important, I will delete. Though the data is available also, I will delete. This is not an important data for me for analyzing. Right? Now, if this data is depending on the time, then it is called as time series data. If it is not depending on the time, it is not called as time series data. Then it is called as cross-sectional data. For example, if you want to predict whether the person will get a loan or reject a loan, means whether to accept or reject a loan, that is cross-sectional data. Whether COVID positive or negative, cross-sectional data. Whether the person will join at Naresh IT or not, cross-sectional data. What would be the car price, cross-sectional data. It is not having any time dependency. Age of the car is different. Not time dependency means on 11th, if he shows the 11th, on 11th, he comes to the car showroom is different price. On 12th, if you come is a different price. It is not like that, right? So here we are having with respect to, if the data is having any dependency on time is time series data, no dependency on time is cross-sectional data. Now for cross-sectional data, within cross-sectional, again, I'm having continuous and discrete. Now what is continuous? Continuous means a numerical data which can have a float value, then it is called as continuous data, which can have a float value, whichever is in the float value, a numerical data which can have a float value. For example, your weight is there. So I have collected from my students. In this class, I have collected from the students. One of the student weight is 64. One student weight is 72. One student weight is 68, 67, 66. Here, I'm having the data like this. Now here, whether the weight can have a, with respect to decimal is possible or not. Whether it is possible or not. Here, I have not collected. I have made a round figure. But whether it is possible or not. Possible. A person can have 62.4 also is possible, but I have not collected. Since you have not collected means it will not be converted as a other variable. So whichever is having the possibility of float value, you have to work on the name of the variable. You have to see what is the name of the variable and you have to understand. Okay, weight of the person. Weight of the person means generally what would be the weight. For that weight, whether float values are possible or not possible. Then it is comes under continuous. If the float values are possible means continuous. Example is your weight, height, score. In the score, for example, I'm having with respect to 100 marks. For example, out of 100, I'm going to keep with respect to each question for 10 marks. 10 questions are there. Each question 10 marks. 10 questions if you answer correctly 100. 9 questions if you answer means 90. 8 questions if you answer means 80. Now everything is possible. If, for example, the same score, I have kept the exam pattern like this. Now, for example, if I have kept a score as 100 questions, each question is 1 mark. Negative answer minus 0.33, 1/3. Some of them will be positive, some of them will be minus. Now, the overall out of 100, you may get float value. Now, generally a score means score or percentage or anything. Generally, scores means it is a float value. Whether you are conducting or not, that is different. Generally, score means a float value, right? Is that clear? So we have to work based on the variable name, not based on the data. For example, here I'm having weight of the student. Inside the weight of the student, what is there? Don't ask the data. Now tell me irrespective of the data. I will not tell the data. Generally, weight comes under what? float or without float. Never the float is possible. Float is possible, yes or no? Yes. Yes means continuous. Simple. Float, never the float is possible. Whatever the way you try, sir, float is never possible. Then it is not continuous. Never the float is not possible means not a continuous variable. Simple. Now coming to the discrete. Within the discrete, again I am having two. One is called as discrete count data and one is called as discrete categorical data. Within the discrete, again two are there. One is called as count. Count means it will count a numerical value without any float, means no decimal. A numerical value with decimal. Float means with decimal. A numerical value without decimal is called as, without decimal is considered as the count data. Example, number of mobile phones. I'm taking the number of mobile phones from each student. Hey, how many mobiles you are having? 1. How many mobiles you are having? 2. One student will say 2. One student will say 1. Sir, I'm not having any mobile phone. 0. 0.1 or 0.2. Anyone can have like that. Is that possible? Then it is called as count data. Number of cars you are having. Either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, whatever the number. But 1.2 car I'm having is not possible. Okay. Number of laptops or number of desktop. Number of. To be more precise, number of. Count means what is meant by count? Length function. Simply it is length function. Count means nothing but length function. In this class, how many males are there? How many females are there? Length function only, right? How many females are there? 5 female students are there. Count. 4.5 female students are there. Is that possible? Right? Simple. Count means where a numerical value cannot have a float or with respect to no decimal. A numerical value with no decimal that will never have the decimal value. Then it is called as count variable. Right? Discrete count. Now, next comes under discrete categorical. Discrete categorical means text data. Text data is called as discrete categorical. Categorical data. Now, what is meant by categorical data? Categorical data means, for example, you are having the gender column. Male, female, male. You are having English letters, right? Text data is available. Text is there means categorical. Blindly it is categorical. Okay. Example, male, female like this. Like, for example, liver problem. Yes or no? COVID positive or negative? Positive, negative. Petrol or diesel variant of the car. Either petrol, diesel, LPG, CNG, whatever it is. If you are having English letters means it is a text data. Sir, instead of English letters, Arabic letters or some others are there means wrong data, clean the data. It is called as wrong data. You have to clean. Then only you have to process. Because Python works on the English language, not on the Arabic language, not on the Hindi language. So in the structured data, if you are having the problem, sir, some people will write in the Twitter, the Arabic language or Hindi language, something they'll write, right? YouTube comments or Twitter tweets, they'll be in different language. That is unstructured data. Forget about unstructured. I'm not discussing about unstructured. This entire concept of cross-sectional data and time series, I'm discussing only with the structured only. Heading is structured, in that only the column names are called as variables, and within that variables, what are the different types of variables? I'm discussing only about the structured data. I'm not discussing about the unstructured data. So within the structured data, I'm discussing everything. So in the structured data, whatever we are having the English letters, whatever the things are there, text is there, everything comes under categorical. They are called as categorical. For example, letter grades are there. A grade, B grade, C grade. Text data. Your hair color is there. Black color, brown color. Some people will have a different white color or some other colors. Different colors will be there. Hair colors. That is also. Colors comes. Country names. Text data. Your student names. text data. Everything is a categorical data, right? All of them are categorical data. Now within the categorical data, again two subdivided. One is called as nominal and second one is called as ordinal. The first one is called as nominal and the second one is called as ordinal data. Now what is nominal? Nominal means there is no natural sequence. No natural sequence. No natural sequence. Ordinal data means there is a natural sequence. Sequence is the naturally. You not created the sequence. Naturally, it should be there. For example, for nominal data, hair color, because nominal means categorical only, right? Categorical means text should be there. So hair color I am considering black color, white color, a brown color. Now, which one is the top one? From your perspective, from others' perspective, they are going to take the hair dye with a brown color. From their perspective, brown is best. That is your perspective. Brown color is best or white color is best or this one is best or pink color is best. That is from your perspective. From perspective to perspective, it will change. By default, which color is the best one means nothing. There is no answer. They are the just names. Their hair colors are just names. Colors are names. Now, India, America, Russia. India, America, Russia. They are country names. Which country is the top? If you are patriotic, you may say that, sir, India. From your perspective, are you seeing from GDP wise? GDP wise means America is highest. If you go with the nuclear weapons, Russia is the highest. As of now, Russia means war only, weapons. Weapons wise, Russia is the highest one, nuclear wise. If you go population wise, India is the highest one. On which perspective you are saying? Here they have not written anything. Just they have given the country. Heading is country. What is meant by country? Country means country name. India. Now there is a student names are there. Just heading is name. In that Suresh is there. Mahesh is there. Pawangayan is there. Which one is highest miss? Is the name of Pawangayan is the miss highest? No, right? Just it is a name only. Of course, it is having power. That is secondary. Okay, let us leave that one. Okay, example, let us change to instead of this one. Let us go to Krishna, something. Okay, now they're just names only. They're just name. So there is nothing. There is no natural sequence between them. So there, no one can say that Mahesh name is better than Suresh. If Mahesh name is better than Suresh means none of them will keep the Suresh name, right? Everyone will keep Mahesh name only. Right? If Krishna name is better than others means everyone will keep the Krishna name only. Not they're just names. Okay. So these all comes under nominal data. They are just names. They are not having any kind of sequence between them. Okay. Now coming to the ordinal data, there is a natural sequence. Example, low. Heading is shirt size. Heading is shirt size. Low, medium, large, XL, double XL. There is order is there. What is the order? Low size or small size. I mean, low means small. Small size is less than the medium size. Medium size is less than large size. Large size is less than the double XL. It is less than the triple XL. For you and for me, everything is same. Okay, it is a ordinal data. For example, 10th class, intermediate, degree, post-graduation, graduation, post-graduation, and doctorate. Are everything are same? 10th class is equal to doctorate. In the graduation, degrees might be BSc degree, BSc computers, and BSc max. Out of these two, which one is great means nothing. Both are same. Both are degrees only. You are seeing from India perspective, the jobs are more in the BSc computers. But if you go with the Germany or France means BSc max is having more importance. There the BSc max means they'll see like a god. Right? So something that for them, the maths is very difficult subject. In India, computers, everyone are interested towards becoming as a software developer and to enter into the software jobs, right? So here from perspective to perspective that changes, but order of this one, education order is common. Graduation is less than the post-graduation is less than the doctorate degree. So whenever you are having a order, then it is called as ordinal data. When there is no order, it is called as nominal data. Is that clear? Examples. For example, you are having the letter grades are there. A grade, B grade, C grade. Every grade is same, huh? No, right? A grade is better than the B grade is better than the C grade. Everyone knows. That is ordinal data. If all the letters grades are same, then it is a nominal data. Just you have to understand whether they are just names or they are having any importance. If they are just names, nominal. If they are having importance, ordinal. Right? Now, for example, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Delhi. Which one is best? Which one is best? Yeah, just city names. The name is Delhi. They have kept the name as Delhi. Delhi name is there, Delhi is best. Instead of Delhi, they renamed to other They are just names only. When they have given the column, you are focusing only on that column. What is the name of the column? City. What is the meaning of city? City name. Country name. Name of the student name. Understand only for this column, what is this? If they have given you in terms of GDP and compared like this, if the data set is like that, in that case, we have to do. In that case, we have to compare, sir, India's GDP is comparatively low when compared to America or when compared to Russia. And Russia's GDP is less than the American's GDP. Then it is ordinal data. If they have given the GDP number, then it is ordinal data. Just they have given the names only, right? Names means just nominal data. Is that clear? Why I have told you this one means, if this one is clear, based on this, we are going to accordingly, we are going to work on that. For continuous data, we have to do the continuous analysis. For discrete variable, we have to do the discrete analysis. Data analysis of two types. One is continuous variable analysis. One is discrete analysis. So for continuous variables, we have to apply in a different way. For discrete variable, we have to apply in a different way. We can't do the analysis what we are doing on the discrete. We can't apply on the continuous. For continuous variable, we can't apply the discrete logic. For example, let us take like this. The number of mobile phones with each student is the column name. 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2. What is the average mobile? Average mobile means 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3, 4, 4 plus 6, 2, 6. 6 divided by 7, which is 0.8 or something. Okay, 0.7 or 0.8, whatever it is. Okay, we are going to get some 0. Is that 0.8 is having any meaning? Oh, my average students are having 0.8 mobiles. If I say means, everyone will laugh. In this case, we should not apply the logic of mean. We should apply the mode. For all the discrete variables, we have to take the mode. Only mode. Whether it is a count data, whether it is a categorical data, only mode you have to apply. You should not apply the America plus Russia plus India divided by 3. You can't do like this. Sir, can I apply the median? You can't even apply the median. First, if it is nominal data, how you can make them in the order? For ordinal data, you can make them in the order, and in the center position, whatever is there, we can identify. Generally, now, for example, let us take like this for this one. Sir, for this, I want to calculate the median, sir. Okay, otherwise, I want to calculate the median. Now, let us take total 8 points are there. Now, whenever the even number of data points are there, you are going to take the average of center 2. The center 2 are 0 and 1. Now, what you are going to do? Average of that one. 0 plus 1 divided by 2. 0.5 mobile is the average median value. Can you say like that? In our data set, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 is there. So obviously the median is 1. Okay. But some choice, for example, 4 zeros and 4 ones are there. Now, in that case, 4 zeros and 4 ones are there. So that is the reason for entire discrete variable, we are never going to apply the concept of mean or median. We are going to apply only the logic of mode. For continuous variable, we are going to take mean, median, and mode. For discrete variable, only mode. Similarly, minimum value, maximum value, range value, whatever we are having the measures of dispersion, minimum, maximum, range, deviations, mean absolute deviations, mean square deviations, standard deviations, everything are applied only for the continuous variable, not for the discrete variable. For the discrete variable, we can't apply that logic. All these are applied only for the continuous variable. Okay. Discrete variable means discrete categorical, within that ordinal will be included, nominal also included. If for everything it is applicable only, that is applicable. For one of them it is not applicable also, it is not applicable. For example, let us take whenever they say that discrete, in your mind get only one thing, discrete categorical with nominal. This you get in the mind. For this, can you calculate the minimum value? For example, India, Russia, and US is there. Which is the minimum country and which is the maximum country? Nothing is there, right? No minimum. Now, which is the maximum? No maximum. They are names only, country names. Now, minimum is not applicable for nominal data. Maximum is not applicable for nominal data. Range can you apply? Minimum, maximum only you can't apply. Then how you can apply range? Range means max minus min. That also not apply. Now, coming to the next one is deviation. Can you calculate the mean value for this? That is Russia plus US plus India divided by 3. Can you do like that? No. Mean is not possible means deviation is not possible. Deviation is not possible means mean absolute deviation, mean square deviation, standard deviation. Nothing is possible. So for entire discrete variable, nothing is possible. For only continuous variable, we are going to apply. For continuous variable only, we are going to calculate the measures of dispersion. Whatever the measures of dispersion are there, this entire measures of dispersion is applied only on the continuous variable. For discrete variable, only one is available, is called as mode. Apart from this, nothing is available. In the entire statistics, nothing is available. Only one and only mode is available. For discrete means mode. Whatever we are going to discuss, the entire statistics we are going to discuss in the further class also, only for continuous variable only we are going to discuss. For discrete variable, nothing. Is that clear? Clear, guys? Got the point with respect to what is discrete variable and what is this? Yes, you have to write down notes. You have to write the running notes. Right? Anyways, I'm going to share you the PPTs also. Right? I'll share you the PPTs. What are the PPTs available for statistics? Entire thing I'm going to upload. Right? Now, coming to the next one. Most important one. Heading is probability. Everyone will assume this is as a difficult topic, but it is one of the dead easiest topic. Just in 10 minutes, we'll understand entire probability. Okay, you'll say, sir, probability means this much only. Yeah? So whatever we require for data science, that one only we are going to learn. We are not going to prepare for IIT exam. We are not in the intermediate. We are not in the intermediate second year, or we are not preparing MSET exam or IIT exam. We are not trying for any MSc mathematician role. We are data scientist. For data scientist, whatever the probability is required, that we are going to learn. Now, coming to the probability. Heading is probability. Now, what is meant by probability? Probability means nothing but chance of occurrence. How much chance of occurrence of that particular thing is called as probability. Simple. Chance of occurrence means, example, as everyone will say, starting example, simple example, heads and tails. Let us start the same example. After that, we'll increase the level of difficulty of the example. First, let us start with a simple example, head and tails. Let us take a coin. For the coin, we are having either heads or tails. Now, what is the probability of getting head, miss? Tell me total number of what are the possibilities. Denominator tells that total possibilities. Total number of possibilities. Total number of possibilities. And the numerator says that how many of them satisfies your condition. How many satisfy your condition? How many satisfy your condition? How many will satisfy your condition divided by total number of probabilities? Sorry, total number of possibilities. My requirement is when I toss a coin, whenever I toss a coin, what is the probability the toss is going to be heads? Now, when I toss a coin, what are the total possibilities, miss? One is head, one is tail. I will write all the list of possibilities first. How many are there? Total 2 are there. Within that, how many heads are there? Only 1 is there. 1 by 2. Simple. How many? What is the probability that toss is equal to tails? Which is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, this is our first example where heads and tails example. This is the one completed. Example number 1 is completed. Let us try with example number 2. Now I'm going to write some letters A, B, D, D, E, G, I, K. 4, 8, 10. Okay, 10 letters I have written. Now I want the probability. If I select a letter, the letter is equal to, I'm selecting one letter from the letter is equal to A. What is the probability? Total, how many are there here? Total possibilities are 10, out of which my requirement, how many will satisfy? How many satisfy your condition? What is my condition is, this is my condition. What I'm writing inside, this is my condition. How many are satisfying my condition? Only 1. So 1 by 10 is the probability. What is the probability of B? 1 by 10. What is the probability of C? 0. Not 10 are there, but inside that your condition 0 are satisfying. The probability is 0. Answer is 0. Now, what is the probability of D? 2 by 10. What is the probability of E? 1 by 10. What is the probability of F? 0 by 10. Total 10 are there. In that, your condition satisfied is 0. 0 by 10. Right? Now, this is example number 2. Now, example number 3. I'm writing here H, 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 H. 4 H's. What is the probability of, for this example, what is the probability of A? In this, 0 by 4. Total 4 are there, out of which how many satisfy your condition is 0. None of them will satisfy your condition. 0 by 4. How many will satisfy probability of B? 0 by 4. What is the probability of H? 4 by 4. This is the maximum, which is 1. Can a denominator can be more than numerator? Never it is. For example, in this 4, apart from H, can you take a probability of H is equal to 5 by 4? Is that possible? This is the maximum count, right? Denominator is always maximum. Never the numerator can cross the denominator. Then how the probability will cross more than 1? Down is total number of possibilities. Whatever you are having entire data, you are writing denominator. If your entire data is same also, maximum value can be 1 only. But never it can cross more than denominator. The numerator never cross the denominator. So always the probability, whatever the probability you are having, your probability is always less than 1 only. Never the probability is going to be more than 1. It can be equal to 1. Is that possible? If all the data points and total number of data points are same, automatically it is possible. Means your probability can also be equal to 1. Can your probability can be negative? Is that possible negative? Because just you are asking how many miss, if it is available miss, you'll tell the number. If it is not available miss, 0. -4 are there. How you can say? That is, count is not minus is available. Never the count will have the minus. If it is not available, means 0 only. So 0 is the minimum value. 0 is the minimum value. Now 0 is possible. Yes, 0 also possible. So your probability lies between 0 to 1. Your entire probability lies between 0 to 1. When it is not possible, it is 0. When everything it is same, then it is equal to 1. So 0 is possible, 1 also possible. So probability can be either 0 and the probability can be either 1. So entire probability value will lie always between 0 to 1. Why it will lie always between 0 to 1? This is the interview question. Why the probability will be between 0 to 1 only? Means, sir, never the numerator can be more than the denominator. Never the numerator can be more than the denominator. That's it. This is a, with respect to, you are going to divide, right? When you are dividing, the numerator cannot be the more than the denominator. Then how the probability will be more than 1? Never it is possible. Is that clear? The probability will always lies between 0 to 1. And 1 is possible or not, miss, check. Take a data set of a sample data of your choice. Whatever the choice you want, you write. Sir, for example, here, I'm writing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Some numbers I have written. I'm writing the condition, probability of what is the number. I'm going to select one number. That number is divisible by 2 and remainder is equal to 0. How many of them will satisfy this condition? First, tell me how many values are there here total? 6 are there. 6 values are there. Out of these 6 values, how many will satisfy this condition? 6 of them will satisfy. What is the probability that X will be less than 13? 6 of them will satisfy. Out of 6, 6 of them will satisfy. How many of them are greater than 0? Total 6 are there, 6 will satisfy. What is the probability the value is greater than 5? Out of 6, denominator is 6 fixed. Numerator will change. How many satisfies with respect to greater than 5? How many of them are greater than 6? 3 of them. 3 out of 6. Greater than or equal to 6. Whatever the condition is there, just check with this condition how many of them satisfy. Means just you are counting the how many truths are there, length of the truths. Length of truths. Whether it is a true or false, true, 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 true. How many truths are there? That number is numerator. How many total number is denominator? Simple. Probability miss. Is that clear? Just you have to write one condition, and this condition how many will satisfy? That is the numerator, and divided by total number of possibilities is the denominator. Probability concept is clear. This is called as probability. So the probability will be between 0 to 1. Now, let us take like this. Tell me any choice of your numbers. Anything. Any data. Numbers. You might say text data. You may say anything. As per your choice. You tell me anything. 9. Yeah, please. Tell at least 10 values. Guys, tell. If you don't tell me, I'll write off my choice. 5, 6, 50, 3, 6, 10. 10 completed. Something. Okay. Now I have written 10 values randomly. Now for this, I'm going to calculate the how many probability values are less than 10 and how many of them are greater than 10. Now total values are 10. Or let us take this one, condition 20. If I take 10 means you might get confused. Let us take 20. Anything of your choice. How many values satisfies less than 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 9. 11 also will satisfy, right? 9. 9 of them will satisfy. How many will not satisfy? 1 will not satisfy. Now, if you combine these two probabilities, what is the total? 1. Always the sum of the probabilities will remain 1. If you calculate the probability of 9 plus probability of 8 plus probability of 11 plus probability of 7 plus probability of 2 plus probability of 4 plus probability of 5 plus probability of 6 plus probability of 50. If you calculate like this also, 1 by 10, 1 by 10, 1 by 10, 1 by 10, 2 by 10, 1 by 10, 1 by 10, 1 by 10, 1 by 10. If you combine the probabilities of each category, always the total is going to be 1 only, because numerator, total is numerator divided by total only. Total by total will be a 1 only, right? Obviously. Let us take like this: male, male, female, male, female. Probability of how many categories are there? 2 categories are there. One is probability of male plus probability of female. What is the answer? 2 by probability of male is 3 by 5. Probability of female is 2 by 5. Total is 5 by 5. Always the probability is equal to 1. Sir, for example, if I add a probability of male and female, and if I take the transgender, third category, that is anyways 0, na? 0 by 5. If you add also, no problem. If you add also, no problem. Sir, this is not male and female, sir. Just let us M and F. I want to try to add the probability of I letter also. 0 by 5. Add whatever the letter you want to add. Total is going to be 5 by 5 only. Never it can cross the maximum value is 1. Always the sum of the probability is equal to 1. Whether it is a numerical value, whether it is a discrete variable, any variable, the maximum value is 1 and the sum also is going to be 1. What is meant by sum is sum of the probabilities of each category. Sum of probabilities of each category. Whatever the category you are having, each category, sum of probability of each category is equal to 1. That is sigma p of x is equal to 1. Sum is sigma. Whenever there is a word of sum is there, sigma. Mean is there means divide by n. Mean means divide by n. If no mean means only sum is sigma. Always the sum is going to be 1. Whatever the pause. Anything you take as per your choice. As per your choice. Anything you can consider. Whatever the categories are there, first write all the unique categories. First mention the unique categories. And calculate for each unique category what is the probability. For example, let us take like this country names. India, 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 Russia, India, India. I have taken like this. First, take the unique categories. What are the unique values are there? What are the unique values are there? India, Russia. First, write that one. Now you do the probability of India and the probability of Russia separately and add. Obviously, it should be equal to 1. First, you take the separate category and for each category, you calculate the probability. Now, sir, this is categories, okay. Discrete variable, okay. For continuous variable, weights, 64.2, 19.8, 14.2, 72.6, 18.1, 18.1, 19.4. Repeat. One example, repeat also. Whatever you want, you write. Now, first in this, what are the unique categories are there? Means unique values are there. Write all the unique values. For each unique value, calculate the probability separately and combine. Automatically, it will be 1. Got the point? Whether it is a continuous variable or whether it is a discrete variable, first you take the unique value. How many unique values are there? For each unique value, calculate the probability and combine the probability. It will be equal to 1 because total by total will be always 1. The reason behind that why sum of the probabilities is equal to total means numerator will be total of all the values. Denominator is total values. Total by total means 1 only, right? Obviously. Total by total 1 only, right? So that is the logic. Is that clear? So always the sum of the probabilities is equal to 1. Whether it is a continuous variable, whether it is a discrete variable. Is that clear? Now, let's get into now I'm having let us take a discrete variable. Some discrete variable. Discrete variable of your choice. Let me take example like this. Male, 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 female, 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 male, male, female. 3, 6, 10. 10. 3, 5. Oh, exactly 5 and 5. Okay, let us change this one to female and female, both of them. Okay, now total 10 values are there. Now, what is the probability of male? That is 4 by 10. What is the probability of female? How many of them satisfies your condition divided by total, right? 4 by 10, 6 by 10. This is the probability. I'm asking count of male. How many males are there? Count. How many are there? Count of females. 6. Now, what I'm going, this is a discrete data. For discrete data, whatever the categories are there, each category I'm going to write in the x-axis. That is male and female. Whatever the category I'm having. And their count, I'm going to take their count on the y-axis. So count is up to male. How many males are there? Miss 4 are there. So height of 4. Height of 4, I'm going to draw 1 bar. Wherever the height of 6 is there, up to height of 6, I will take 1 bar and I'm going to draw. This is height of 6 and this is height of 4. A discrete variable will be represented by using a bar plot. A bar plot will have the on x-axis the distribution, on y-axis the values. So these values are nothing but count. Just their count. Count is also called as frequency. Count is also called as frequency. On the denominator, you are having the distribution of the data. So it is called as frequency distribution. Here frequency is there, here distribution is there. So it is called as frequency distribution. Which frequency distribution? Discrete frequency distribution. Since it is applied on the discrete variable, so it is a discrete frequency distribution. So it is a frequency distribution. Discrete frequency distribution. Okay, sir. So since you have written on the y-axis frequency and down distribution, so it is frequency distribution. Let us take one more example. Male, female. Now this time on the y-axis, instead of considering count or frequency, I'm considering the probability. On y-axis, I'm writing the probability, not the frequency, probability. What is the male probability? 4 by 10, which is 0.4. Wherever the height of 0.4 is there, I'm going to draw a line. This is 0.4. 0.6. I'm going to draw a line of 0.6. Now then what this is called as? If this is called as frequency distribution, then it is called as probability distribution. That's it. This is called as probability distribution. Probabilities along with the distribution of the data. For each category, what is the probability representation is called as probability distribution. This is for discrete variable or continuous variable? Discrete variable. So it is called as discrete probability distribution. If you make the same thing for continuous variable, continuous probability distribution. If you apply the same logic for continuous variable, continuous probability distribution. If you're applying the logic for discrete, means discrete probability distribution. This is the example for the discrete probability distribution. This is discrete probability distribution. This is called as discrete frequency distribution because on y-axis you are having the frequency. In the y-axis probability means probability distribution. In the y-axis frequency is there means frequency distribution. Distribution means all the data bringing on the x-axis. Bringing the entire data on the x-axis is called as distribution. Distribution means my entire data. Sir, for example here, male and female, let us take one more. T also is there, right? T, one more T also, right? And for that, just whatever the probability or whatever the count is there, right? Sir, I'm having a F, right? F, sorry, F is completed. F, T, I'm having G, right? G letter. How many G's are there? Just count them and you create the G. S is there. How many S's are there? Just count and keep the S. For each category, just count and make the bar for each category. Just to represent their count on the bars. Nothing else is called as frequency distribution. If you are having 2 categories, means represent 2 categories. If you are having 10 categories, means represent 10 categories. 20 categories are there, means 20. How many categories are there? Represent all the categories on the x-axis. Then it is called as frequency distribution. Frequency means how many of them are there? Just count. It is just counting. And the same thing here, it is probability. What is the difference between the frequency distribution versus probability distribution? Means one will show us the count and one will show us the probability. Is that clear? Any questions between the frequency distribution versus probability distribution? Probability is clear, probability distribution also clear. Discrete variable we have completed. Now we'll go with the continuous variable. I will take one more example for continuous variable. Any questions on the discrete variable? If you have any questions, please ask online students and offline students. Any questions on the probability or probability distribution? Anything? Within the probability, only discrete probability distribution I have completed. Continuous probability distribution, I will take one example and I will show you how to make a frequency distribution. At the same time, how to make a continuous probability distribution. That we'll see. Is that clear till now? Obviously. If you go with the discrete variable, if it is a count also, for example, number of mobile phones. Let us take number of mobile phones. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. How many zeros are there? Just represent the category 0 here, 1 here, and bar. That is also a discrete variable now. Whether it is a discrete count or discrete categorical, discrete frequency distribution. I'm not saying about, it is not called as discrete categorical frequency distribution, right? This is called as discrete frequency distribution. What is meant by discrete frequency distribution? Means applying the frequency distribution of a discrete variable. Applying the frequency distribution on a discrete variable is called as discrete frequency distribution. Applying probability distribution on a discrete variable means it is called as discrete probability distribution. Right? Now, interview question is, what is discrete probability distribution? What is discrete probability distribution? What is discrete probability distribution? Means applying probability distribution on a discrete variable. Apply probability distribution on a discrete variable is called as discrete probability distribution. Now, what is meant by probability distribution? Distribution on the x-axis and their corresponding probability on the y-axis. Probability and distribution of the data. This should be for discrete variable. So it is discrete probability distribution. Is that clear, guys? Done? So that is the end of the session for today. And in the tomorrow's class, we'll continue with the continuous probability distribution. And tomorrow I'll open my, whatever the statistics PPT is there, that I'll open and then I'll share it to you. Okay. Now, today you are having one assignment. What is the assignment? Miss? In the statistics, that is yesterday's class and today's class. Within these two classes, you have to create 50 questions. 50 questions and answers. You have to write in the notes. Anything of your choice. 50 questions. In your mind, what are the question you get? What is called as continuous variable? What is discrete variable? What is discrete count variable? What is discrete categorical variable? What is time series variable? What is the difference between cross-sectional data versus time series data? What is meant by variable? What is the structured data? What is unstructured data? Where will store the structured data? Where will store unstructured data? Right? What are the questions you are having? What are the questions you feel? Write all the questions. Just in the last class and today's class, make at least 50 questions. That is your assignment. Right? And once you write all the questions, in that only my interview questions will be there. One student questions, I'll ask to other student. Now, if you share among yourself, it is very nice. Extraordinary, marvelous, awesome, anything. Whatever the name you want. But don't repeat the same question. Others, if for example, you both are sitting together and you are writing the questions, miss, write, absolutely no problem. But each of them 50-50. The same questions others also writing, miss, there is no use. No need to sit. No need to sit together. No need to write anything. Okay. If 2 students or 3 students are combinedly sitting and writing the questions, miss, each student 50-50. Not a group of 50. Student wise 50 questions. Clear? In the last 2 classes, what we have discussed till now, within that only the 50 questions should be there. Done? Any questions? No. Statistics was not completed. Statistics was not completed. We have completed maybe 10%. We'll see one by one. Okay. Statistics was not completed. Any questions, guys? If you prepare in the sequential order, see the statistics, entire statistics, I can open the PPT also. Now my PPT will be almost 300 slides, right? I can open the PPT and I can continue the notes also. But why I'm explaining like this, miss? So that you will focus clearly one by one, step by step, and you will write. And the order, whatever the order you prepare, it will be, if you come in the order and if you understand why, what is the reason behind that, the concepts will be very clear. Don't by heart that. Just understand them. Okay. Statistics, if you by heart, miss, never will understand. Statistics and maths, we should not by heart. We have to understand what is the reason behind that and why they have created like that and what is the purpose of that. Right? Is that clear, guys? Sir, classes are little bit fast. Hey,